Okay, so let's get mad at Anderson Cooper. So first off, I have a little bit of bias. I do enjoy me some Anderson Cooper. I like his cadence. I like the way he covers a lot of things. He's built up a lot of good rapport, particularly for himself, but also for CNN over the years, with his coverage of different tragedies and being actually out in the field and he's put in a lot of legwork. And so my brain immediately went, of course they've got Anderson Cooper being the one to come out and address this, because Anderson Cooper is the one who has the best reputation on CNN. And so, and I'm ready to have that reputation dropped like a pile of potatoes.
Many of you have expressed deep anger and disappointment. Many of you are upset that someone who attempted to destroy our democracy was invited to sit on a stage in front of a crowd of Republican voters to answer questions and predictably continued to spew lie after lie after lie. And I get it. It was disturbing. It was disturbing to see and hear that person refer to a black law enforcement officer as a thug, an adjective he used many times to describe black men, and call Caitlin Collins, the moderator, nasty, which is what he calls any woman who stands up to him. It was disturbing to hear him speak so highly of QAnon conspirators and insurrectionists who assaulted police officers in our democracy on January 6th. And it was awful to hear him spread ridiculous lies about the election. And it was certainly disturbing to hear that audience, young and old, our fellow citizens, people who love their kids and go to church, laugh and applaud his lies and his continued defamation of a woman who, according to a jury of his peers, he sexually abused and defamed. As good a job as Caitlin Collins did trying to fact check him, it is impossible to fact check fully because he lies so shamelessly. Now, many of you think CNN shouldn't have given him any platform to speak, and I understand the anger about that, giving him the audience, the time, I get that. But this is what I also get. The man you were so disturbed to see and hear from last night, that man is the front runner for the Republican nomination for president. And according to polling, no other Republican is even close. That man you were so upset to hear from last night, he may be president of the United States in less than 2 years. And that audience that upset you, that's a sampling of about half the country. They are your family members, your neighbors, and they are voting. And many said they're voting for him. Now, maybe you haven't been paying attention to him since he left office. Maybe you've been enjoying not hearing from him, thinking it can't happen again. Some investigation is going to stop him. Well, it hasn't so far. So if last night showed anything, it showed it can happen again. It is happening again. He hasn't changed, and he is running hard. You have every right to be outraged today and angry and never watch this network again. But do you think staying in your silo and only listening to people you agree with is going to make that person go away?
Hey, welcome back to Name That Fallacy. Not listening to Trump doesn't mean you're not listening to people who agree with him. It doesn't mean you're not looking at both sides, quote unquote. I am so disappointed. There is a plethora of problems. The main one that sticks out to me personally is the complete dismissal of what the news networks claimed they learned in 2016. If you guys remember, during the 2016 election, after that was over and Trump was elected, the media outlets came out and said, we made a mistake by giving Trump airtime because we didn't take him seriously enough. He had way more coverage and way more airtime than any other runner. And that was our bad, and we shouldn't have done that, and that was our mistake. CNN has completely forgotten about that, or is completely dismissing that on, we need to listen to both sides to hear out what fucking Trump has to say. We don't have to do that. That was what the court was for. That was what the investigation was for. That was why Donald Trump could have spoken and refused.
Former President Donald Trump apparently will not testify at the civil trial in New York, where writer E. Jean Carroll accuses him of rape 27 years ago and defamation. Trump missed the judge's Sunday deadline to file a last-minute request to testify.
He had his time to speak. He was judged. He lost. And then you brought him on to just dismiss the outcome of that trial and did nothing. You didn't do nearly enough fact check as he was talking and interrupt him every single fucking time. And if you're not comfortable fucking doing that to him live, then pre-record it and pause it and interject what needs to be said about that thing. And you probably would have ended up with a fucking 2-hour-long shitfest program. It would have looked like a fucking YouTube video. CNN doesn't have the capabilities to fact check somebody because they lie so much.
As good a job as Caitlin Collins did trying to fact check him, it is impossible to fact check fully because he lies so shamelessly.
Maybe you shouldn't have them on. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe there's plenty of networks where you can hear Donald Trump spewing bullshit and it doesn't need to happen on CNN because this isn't a we need to listen to both sides and if you're mad at us, you're just in an echo chamber and we're actually helping you and it was disturbing because we wanted it to look disturbing to you so you could understand. No, people get it. All you did was give him a platform and legitimize him and his followers further.
It was disturbing to hear him speak so highly of QAnon conspirators and insurrectionists who assaulted police officers in our democracy on January 6th.
You jackass! How am I more responsible about this than fucking CNN? Are you kidding me? So what, you brought him on so he could continue to defame the police?
It was disturbing to see and hear that person refer to a black law enforcement officer as a thug.
And the person who he just lost the defamation case to?
And it was certainly disturbing to hear that audience, young and old, our fellow citizens, people who love their kids and go to church, laugh and applaud his lies and his continued defamation of a woman who, according to a jury of his peers, he sexually abused and defamed.
Are you fucking kidding me? Why did you have him on? What was your goal? You know, that would have been a good thing to talk about, right? That would have been a good thing to be like, okay, so yeah, we fucked up, and you're right to be mad at us. Here's what we were trying to do, and what we failed at. Here's how we failed at it, and here's how we're gonna make sure that doesn't fucking happen again. Oh, you mean your reason was ratings? Your reason was to make money off of him because you're gonna sell your country out? What kind of fucking journalist are you? How the fuck could okay, this fucking makes me angry. How the fuck could a media company as large as CNN, be incapable of fact-checking one guy? One. This was a big deal. You knew it was a big deal. You treated it like it was a big deal. You're still acting like it was a big deal in a positive light. So then why the fuck were you not prepared to deal with exactly what you knew he was going to do and you fucking admitted you knew he was gonna do?
And predictably continued to spew lie after lie after lie.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills!
Hello? I can't imagine why people don't trust American media outlets. Because you can't fucking be trusted. Because you're bad at this. Because you like to pretend you have all this great fucking integrity and then it just goes the fuck out the window when somebody says jump. Jump, Anderson! Jump! How high, monkey? Dance!
But do you think staying in your silo and only listening to people you agree with is going to make that person go away?
You think sitting in your silo is going to make that person go away? Deplatforming him would make him go away. That was a big deal when he wasn't on Twitter anymore. It'd be a big deal if CNN covered the case and then never spoke to Trump about it because there's no value in speaking to Trump about it. He brings fucking nothing to the table except bullshit, which you knew, you said you knew, and admitted he did on your network under your fucking watch, and you did fucking nothing. And now you're just excusing it because, well, if we don't hear him out, we're just in an echo chamber. You don't have to. If you've never talked to President Trump, ex-President Trump, how could you possibly dismiss what he has to say? I don't have to meet somebody and talk to them personally to decide I don't want to fucking talk to them. That's ridiculous. Why would I need to do that? I don't need to jump in fucking acid to decide I probably shouldn't jump in acid, and that would be bad for me. Trump has his own fucking platform. He's got his own fucking Twitter version. You can see anything the dude has to say. It's out in the public. He also goes on other networks. You don't have to talk to him personally on CNN to debunk his garbage. I don't have to talk to a Nazi to debunk a fucking Nazi. It's not hard. I can't turn around without seeing fucking conservative talking points, and I live in Canada. These people do things, and those things have consequences, and I can criticize that person based on the consequences of the things that they did. Especially as long as I can prove that they're the ones who did it. How much money would that airtime have cost any other candidate that you just gave him for free?
So if last night showed anything, it showed it can happen again. It is happening again.
This is really, 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 really fucking stupid.